Okay, so I'm going to talk about the key role of technology in the management of market risk or systematic risk. So the role of technology in the management is very important, and I'm going to talk about instruments. So what is an instrument? An instrument is the commitment that you sign. And so the instrument that we are dealing with are very sophisticated. So with sophisticated model, and that calls for a sophisticated program to assess the risk. It's very important. And so to do all of that, we need computing power to be able to execute the program. So the instruments are sophisticated, and I'm going to take an example. The Yeti Phoenix. So the Yeti Phoenix is an exotic option that pay coupons to calculate using the market values of rates, commodity and currency in exchange for financing that can use other exotic option. And so in fact these instruments are used by bank which must run the associated risk through hedges. In fact, these hedges are calculated by mathematical models which use the most complicated results that exist. And so, faced with these realities, for a bank to continue to be able to act on this market, it must have significant computing power to maintain high-level quantitative analysis teams and develop evaluation libraries for sophisticated risk. And in front of all the problem in finance related to the fact that people did not understand the risk, which sought to abuse the confidence of others, there are developments of legislation which oblige the banks to make a lot of calculations to evaluate the risk, to consider many cases. And finally, faced with the rise in systematic risk linked to banks, the banks must deliver to the supervisory authorities calculations which are made every day to estimate the risk of bankruptcy of the banks. And I would like to say another thing to this final sentence, is that today no bank is able to meet the need of calculation. Now I'm gonna talk about the blockchain, and so I'm gonna debate the advantages and disadvantages of blockchain and the role it has for the management of market risk. So first, what is blockchain? Blockchain is a technology for storing and transmitting information, transparent, secure, and operating without a central control body. So it's important to know that. So now the benefits. Okay. Its greatest role in the management of market risk concerns its efficiency and speed of execution. And so currently, when investors buy or sell securities or negotiate derivatives, settlement delivery can take several days. It can either be longer for cross borders. And blockchain automates the entire process. Also, since blockchain data is often stored in thousands of devices on a distributed node network, the system and the data are extremely resistant to technical failure and malicious attack. As a result, there is less risk in the market. So once a piece of information is entered on a decentralized blockchain, and it becomes falsifiable in practice, and this allows shareholders of a company to be certain of what has happened and to be assured of the accuracy of the figure. And yeah, okay, so this is the benefits. Now I'm going to talk about disadvantage. So the main shortcoming for this technology is that few people are still able to master this technology professionally. There is still almost no institution for studying cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology is very recent. It's still recent. So as a result, everything is not perfect, and there is still a lot to do to have something easier to use. So as a result, the blockchain must still develop two commands. So yeah, in conclusion, we can say that blockchain has a lot of advantages, but it's still recent. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about cryptocurrency. So first, what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is a 100% virtual currency which has no physical nature. Also, they escape all government control. So indeed, with cryptocurrency, the waiting time for bank transfer is greatly reduced, or even non-existent in some cases. It is therefore possible to transfer money to anyone more simply and much faster. Now I'm going to talk about the Bitcoin. In the case of Bitcoin, you should know that the currency is created to generate 21 million units and not one more. So in addition, the more Bitcoin there is, the more difficult it is to create new ones because the process requires a lot of computing power. These are the risks inherent in technology. The risks associated with cryptocurrency trading are mainly related to their volatility. These pose many risks and are highly speculative. Also, cryptocurrency are currently unregulated by both governments and central banks. And finally, they are likely to be prone to error and hacks. So these are risks on the market. Okay, so finally, I'm gonna talk about circuit breaker. So the advantages and disadvantages. So what about a circuit breaker? A circuit breaker is a system used on the stock market, allowing trading to be suspended in the event of sudden drop below a threshold or variation deemed excessive by the market authorities. And to serve as an example, we can take the coronavirus crisis, which has enormously affected the United States, notably on Wall Street. Yes. In fact, the stock market indices had never unscrewed so quickly. 32% on Wall Street for the S&P 500. Daily variation regularly exceed 5% with intraday fluctuation or even greater magnitude. And so the limit of 7% from which the circuit breaker operates on Wall Street has been reached several times. So this is why circuit breaker were put in place. Thus, the exchanges were suspended for a quarter of an hour, so 15 minutes, and so this allows the market to take a break and an investor to take their minds to analyze the situation and so reset their algorithm. And so here the circuit cut will prevent a crash. So a crash, yeah, it's a stock market crash, and so it limits the volatility of the indices so that the stock market performs its function better and that people have more confidence in the indices. But the flaw is that it also limits the attractiveness of the market for speculators who are investors.